Welcome back to AE Essentials. We're on part 5, halfway done, and this episode is focused on blurs. Some of the things I went over in the series you could apply to some specific scenes or edits, but blurs have been in every single one of my edits for the last couple years at least, so they're a true essential. Some editors that I think show the beauty of blurs are Conkadonk, Short Fuse, and PlugD, to name a few. You guys will be using blurs forever, but hopefully this is a good place to start. So you guys might recognize these scenes from the episode I did on shakes, but it doesn't have any blurs yet, so we're gonna go one clip at a time and add blurs. I'll be teaching the basics along the way, and hopefully after a few minutes this clip looks a lot better. So for blurs, everything goes on an adjustment layer. So for our first clip, I'm gonna add a blur right at the start. I'm gonna add an adjustment layer with Control-Alt-Y and fit it to my clip. I'm then gonna add Gaussian blur. There's Gaussian blur legacy. I can never make it look good, so I'm going with base Gaussian blur, and I'm gonna set it to about 15, maybe 16. Some people, I see it on TikTok a lot, especially. Some people crank their blurs like really high, like they look like this. I used to do this too, and it's just way too harsh and does not look too good in my opinion. So we're gonna go lower down about at 15 and keyframe that at the start. And then one frame before the end of the clip, you're gonna put it at 0 and add another keyframe. So it already looks pretty good, but it still needs to be graphed. So the first step is to highlight your keyframes, hit F9 to easy ease them. And for my graph, it's gonna be a little bit softer, but it is gonna have, you know, this like speed shape to it as well. I'm gonna apply that one. You can mess with it a lot. Sometimes I just go with the base graph on when you easy ease your keyframes, which looks like this. And it looks the best, but I usually make it a little bit sharper than that. Let's see how that looks. Okay, I like how that looks. We're gonna keep it. And the next blur we're gonna do is our radial blur. Radial blur, it can look like it can be for rotations. Here, I'll show you. If you add in radial blur, okay, yeah, in radial blur there's two options, spin and zoom. So the zoom option is what we're going to use for scale transitions, and that's what we're going to use today. So you can add radial blur, hit zoom, you're going to make your adjustment layer 4 frames long, and you can cut it, and you want to put it in the middle of your 2 frames, directly in the middle. And you're going to put the amount at, again, 15 or 16, and keyframe that in the middle, and one before. So 16 on the 2 frames that are the transition frames, and the ones after and before we're gonna put at 8. See, that's really quick. Making radial blurs are very quick, and this is what it looks like. A lot better. Makes the transition look a lot smoother. Now we're gonna add a Gaussian blur on this clip, so we're gonna add another adjustment layer, Control-Alt-Y, and fit it to your clip. Blurs are pretty easy to make. They're fun to add because it's not too much work and you don't have to mess with them for too long. I'm gonna add Gaussian blur, put it at 16, keyframe it, one before the end at 0, and I'm gonna just take the graph I had from the first one. Let's see. So if you highlight it and you hit this little read values button on your flowchart, you can take the exact graph, and I'm gonna then apply it to this clip and see how that looks. This is what we have so far. Okay, yeah, that looks good. It looks a lot better so far. And we're gonna move on. We only have 2 more to go. So the next blur we're gonna do is a directional blur, because this is a slide transition. So instead of radial blur, we don't want a zoom blur, we want a directional blur. So I'm gonna add in BCC directional blur. Another really good blur is OLM blur. So there's like a series of blurs you can download called OLM directional blur, OLM radial blur, and they're very good. But for today, I think more people have BCC, so I'm gonna do a tutorial on BCC blur. We're gonna make it 4 frames long, just like the last one, and add in BCC directional blur. It'll start out at 10. We'll change it to 17. I want this one to be a little bit stronger, maybe 18. And we're gonna put it on those 2 middle spots, both at 18, and the one before and after at 8. And I'm just gonna skip the next step. We're not gonna look at it. I'm gonna add the Gaussian blur to this clip already to finish up our sequence. You're gonna fit an adjustment layer to your clip, add Gaussian blur, and we're gonna do the same keyframes. Keep it very simple. One before the end over here, and 16 at the start. I already have the graph ready, so I'll just apply it. And now we're done adding every blur, and we can just watch what it looks like. I'm gonna pre-render it. Looks a lot better now in my opinion. And that's the basics of blurs. Thanks for watching.